Welcome back to No Man's Land, Oklahoma. This is one of my favorite parts of the country. I've been here before. If you've watched this channel, I've done many videos on No Man's Land, or the area that used to be called No Man's Land. It's basically the Oklahoma Panhandle. And I started with Cimarron County, way out in the west, which is the least populated county in Oklahoma. And then there's Texas County, which is in the middle of the three counties, and now we're in Beaver County, Oklahoma. And, you know, this has been under so many different jurisdictions. It used to be part of Mexico. It was part of Texas when, you know, it was early in its days as a state. It was, you know, under no jurisdiction for a time when it was called No Man's Land. And so if you want to learn about like the history of No Man's Land, I encourage you to watch the first video that I did, which was like a history of the whole Panhandle, and kind of tells you what happened and why everything happened and how everything is today. So now there's about 5,000 people here. There used to be as many as 14,000 people in 1920. Dust Bowl, that was a rough time for this area, but I'll tell you a little bit more about the history of Beaver County, and then we'll get started exploring it.
Like I said, Beaver County was part of Mexico and then Texas before Texas became a state. Then in the Compromise of 1850, Texas ceded the land that would eventually become the Oklahoma Panhandle to the United States government. The area was known as No Man's Land because it belonged to no state or territorial government. From 1886 to 1890, it was a separate organized territory known as Cimarron Territory. After becoming part of the Oklahoma Territory in 1890, Beaver County, which was first called 7th County, covered the entire Oklahoma Panhandle. At statehood in 1907, Cimarron County was taken from the western one-third, Texas was taken from the middle, leaving only Beaver County in the eastern third.
In this video, we're going to explore the southern kind of, I guess you'd say, southern half of Beaver County. It's certainly the less populated half of the county. The county seat is Beaver, which is right in the middle of the county, and we're going to save that for another video. But we're going to go to some unincorporated communities, some probably ghost towns, maybe try to find some cemeteries, see if there's any old churches, and that's what we're going to be doing all day today.
I couldn't find much information about the unincorporated community of Bryan's Corner. It's actually one of the larger communities we're going to visit today and has a post office here, but the post office is called Balko, and Balko is a town, or I guess you'd say ghost town / community that we're going to go to here shortly. But there's the post office, and it says Balko on it, and on the map it's Bryan's Corner. I'm guessing it's just more convenient to have some things here because of the intersection of a couple different main roads through the Panhandle here. But pretty interesting place. I don't know how old it is, and I don't know much about the history or why it was named Bryan's Corner. So if anybody knows that, please put it in the comments.
the side of the road. So there's the Jones-Plummer Trail, Wolf Creek to Dodge, 1874.
The Jones-Plummer Trail began in Dodge City, Kansas, and went southwest through the Oklahoma Panhandle into Texas. Ed Jones and Joe Plummer originally used the path for bringing buffalo meat and hides to Dodge City. Later, the trail saw more use as a freight route. At one point, the trail saw over 150,000 pounds of freight a week. The trail also created the city of Beaver, Oklahoma, which originated in 1880 when a man named Jim Lane built a house along the trail on the south side of Beaver River to serve as a general store, saloon, hotel, and restaurant for travelers. The trail served its purpose for about 20 years through the 1870s and 80s, but was abandoned with the arrival of the railroads.
Across from the cemetery is another post talking about the trail by Jones and Plummer. On our way to Elmwood that way, and I think this is an old school. Looks like it. See foundations for different buildings. Doesn't look like much down this road, but I think that's a cemetery. Somebody put this sign here that everyone that is buried there. I'm guessing that means that the oldest person was born in 1847 and the last burial in 1919. They would have seen some no man's land out here. Well, we've made it to Slapout, one of the famous small ghost towns in Oklahoma. And I actually was here years ago, one of my first videos, I was right over there, and I asked the guy, why is it named Slapout?
I'm here in Slapout, Oklahoma, population 8, although I heard it may not be 8.
You are correct.
And so, what's your name?
Landon 9.
Landon, and I was told you're the expert about Slapout.
We'll see about that.
So how many people live in Slapout?
There's actually 4. There's
Four.
people that live right here close. There are more people that live out a little further.
Okay.
The population during the daytime will easily double. Sometimes a lot more, here at the store.
So is it kind of a tourist place? Do people stop often and like ask you guys about?
There is
how it
a lot of people that will ask
Yeah.
what the Slapout name is about.
Yeah, what is that?
Years ago, there was a guy that started this place, and it was back in the 30s, and they didn't have enough money to fully stock the store.
Okay.
So they commonly run out of stuff like bread and stuff like that. And so he got tired of just saying we're out of that. So he started saying we're going to slap out of that today. And so that got on. So eventually it became known as Slapout.
Oh, that's awesome.
we're going to end here today on Lake Evans Chambers, or Evans Chambers Lake. I think it's known either way. Kind of a nice fitting end. There's, not a lot of water in this part of Oklahoma. And it was interesting because when I go see a lot of ghost towns out and about, you usually see grain elevators because of the railroad. But because the railroad didn't go through the southern part of this county, you don't see a lot of that. You just see what we were left with. So some abandoned buildings, some cemeteries, and very, very little population. And this lake is a fishing lake, and it's really pretty out here. You can just see how vast it is out here. I find this beautiful, and maybe a lot of people might not think that, but I really like it. It's just kind of like it always was, although this lake was man-made in the 1960s, but the rest of the surrounding areas are not too much different than they probably were during the no man's land time. So I really enjoyed checking out this very unpopulated part of Beaver County. Look for a video on the county seat coming up, and then we'll also finish our tour of no man's land in the northern part of Beaver County, where they do have some towns and some population. Yeah, thanks for watching this one, and next time I'll see you down a back road. Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end of that video. And since you're here, let me tell you a little bit more about the extras on the channel. One of the first things you can do is become a member. There are 3 levels of support. There's supporter, producer, and executive producer levels. All 3 have different levels of fun incentives and perks. If you haven't done so, please check out travelwiththewiseguy.com. There are lots of extras on there to explore. One of them is merchandise. We have Travel with the Wise Guy coffee mugs, Death Go Round t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and all sorts of fun things to show your support of this channel. Also on the website is a custom Google map. I've dropped pins in every place I've visited and linked the episode to each location. This seems to be a very popular feature for many of you. Also, sign up for my free newsletter that goes out about once a month. There are all sorts of links and tidbits on this page, old videos, podcasts, and just about everything I can think of I throw on the website. Get all that information on travelwiththewiseguy.com.